We just have Thrive Guide. The one is very basic because it's one. It comes in here with this energy of, wow, I'm a one. And right away it starts looking around and it starts walking. It's the pioneer, it's the explorer, it's the one, it's the leader. And as a leader teaches other people how to lead, the one. And it's very important as a one, in this one, to be flexible and free with yourself, to understand and know how to be flexible and free with the inner and outer storms as a one. And each of the numbers also have a duality. They have a positive side and they also have a negative side to the one. So the one is this flexible and free leader, pioneer, Christopher Columbus, one. Then you have two, simple, one and one is two. And two is partnership, union. So here you have this two, which is all about partnership and union and coming together, as well as that of diplomatic, the peacemaker, the problem solver, right? That of also, on another level, the vibration of the subconscious, the moon, the feminine energy is the two. And then you have one and two equals a three. Father, mother, child, trinity, things work in threes. So all of a sudden you have this expression, this communication, this way of understanding things through your own artistic, creative abilities. And that's the three. And you have also the 1, 2, 3, and all of a sudden you have a square. You have a brick on the wall. You have organization, discipline. You have managerial, management, planning, architecture energy is the 4. Where the 2 is mother and the 4 is the male energy, the foundation, Holly and Peter, of the 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have the 5. And I love the 5 because we are in 5. We're in 2021.
Yeah.
And that's what the
and 5D. Yeah.
And it's a very interesting 5 that 2021 makes up. Because not only is it the inverted C, which is the path, which is history, and within this C is all of the different disciplines, activities, different dimensions, different things that you do with yourself, with your work, with your family, friends, with your way of thinking, of creating, of your health. All that is in this inverted C. And that inverted C of this 5 of 2021 is asking you to reflect. How are you thinking? What are you thinking? As you think, so you are. Are you positive? Or if you're negative, then you're going to be stuck in that inverted C because you're not going to move ahead, because you're stuck in your negativity, or you take your negativity with you in that flow. Because at that point of the inverted C is a point, and then there's a 1, and then there's the right angle turn. So the C in 2021 is asking you to reflect, to process. How are you thinking? How are you feeling? What are you doing? Are you happy or not? That's right.
Woohoo!
And because you have to let go of things. You have to let go of it. You can't take everything with you. You have to let go as you're climbing up. And just when you think you're free and you're soaring and you're a bird and that's it, I have all this freedom, comes the 90-degree turn. and that's transformation, and that's transmutation, and that's transcendence. But that also is progress. That's the future, bringing you information of technology, of something you might be thinking about or feeling that, this is something that I would like to do. So you're bringing it back to the pause, the midpoint of the 5. You're bringing all that back to you, so you can kind of like just, because that's like your, I love the Grateful Dead. It's your Terrapin Station. It's your pause. It's your Grand Central Station. It's the part of you that you're just kind of like just going, here I am. Let's look at this. Or all of a sudden you finding out about AI, AR, robotics, something called transhumanism, which is the hybridization of humans and robots and AI. Or you even go further and someone starts talking to you about, hey, genetic engineering, CRISPR. Or all of a sudden you have an idea, you go, wow, my son and daughter, they're thinking of doing something in their life because now they're getting to those years of making their decisions. But at the same time, we have something called automation and AI and robots. In the profession that they're choosing, that they wish to do for themselves, are they going to be able to do it? Or can a robot or an AI take over? Oh my God. Maybe it's for me to discuss this with them. Or my friends' kids, or, it's like, because we don't want to be replaced. We don't want to be replaced by, and I love this, exponential technology. You like that, Peter? Exponential technology.
Yeah, I love it.
Replaced by this new ideas and new information and this new reset.
And if we like to be controlled, we don't want to be controlled. We want our freedom and we want to stay human.
And that's what 2021 is about.
See, we are the technology. Somebody said the other day, and it was so beautiful and perfect. We are the technology.
We are technology because we ourselves are our own technocrats. We ourselves are our own, we're holographic beings.
We're our own spaceships,
We run spaceships. It's part of our dreams.
Yeah.
In our dreams, we take off. Here's a crazy story that comes up. Are you ready for this one?
Okay. So
I lived in Sao Paulo, Brazil, for 4 years, and Rio de Janeiro for 4 years. That was my 90s experience. I escaped from everything.
I've been there.
Because the gods wanted me to do that. So,
me too. I went there because the gods wanted me. I just went for a visit to see Dr. Fritz.
I never met Dr. Fritz, but I've seen movies and I've heard about him and stuff like that.
Oh, we hung out, and then I lived in Hawaii. Then he came to Hawaii, and we all hung out there. It was quite an experience.
I had psychic surgery with a man called Voldemort.
Oh,
I heard all names. And what's interesting about this man with this crazy name, which is in all the Harry Potter films, Voldemort. He was the specialist of all of the soccer players, the football players in Brazil.
Wow.
He put all of them together.
Yeah, he did.
And I had 4th and 5th vertebra rubbing in, and I had the x-rays and everything, where the doctor told me, after showing it to me, after I had an injection of the blue material running up my spine so they can take an x-ray in Sao Paulo, he goes to me, what is it? When would you like to come in? I have Monday and Tuesday next week open. And I look at him and I go, for what? He goes, for your back surgery, because I was in real pain. And I said, doctor, there's over 6 billion people on this planet. What other choices do I have? And he goes, you have no choice. And I go, really? And he goes, when would you like to come in? And I said, you know what? I'm going to think about it. And he starts laughing and he goes, don't think about it too long. And in that week, I created Voldemort. So as you think, so you are. At that moment, I said, you know what? Let me think about it. And the God said, all right, okay, let's take you on a journey called psychic healing, right?
Right.
But this back to my another story. So one of my best friends was the mother of my translators, who was a top medium teacher of people in Sao Paulo. She was a teacher of mediums and mediumistic studies and psychics and stuff like that. Maria Lucia was her name. And she told me a story. She goes, there's a woman here in Sao Paulo, or was, and I said, yes. She used to be in her rocking chair, and she was an amazing medium. And she used to rock in her chair, and at night, she used to watch, because her house was on a hill, and she used to be able to see all the houses. And what she did is she used to watch the spirits come out of the house, because those spirits were the people who went to sleep.
Right.
Those spirits were the people who went to sleep. And when we go to sleep, we have out of here, out of our right here, out of the neck, we have a very thin, almost invisible connection, like a thread. And that's our thread where we can go wherever we need to go in the universe, other dimensions, other worlds, everywhere. And that's what keeps us here on Earth in our body. So
our silver cord.
Yes. So she was able to see the spirits leave the house. Then she went to sleep. She didn't sleep that much, Maria Lucia said. She used to come back in her chair, and she loved to see the spirits coming back. And I went, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I remember my first time, because you always think the deceased, have already crossed the veil, and they're the ones that visit you. But I realized we all visit each other. I've had so many friends alive come to visit me, and I'm like, wow, yeah, okay. So, and that made me realize we all do most of our visitations when we're sleeping.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So so it's important of all of you to, even before you go to sleep, I always say thank you for the day and all the experience I've had and all the people I've met and all of that. And I say, you know what, let's go to a higher place within myself. And when I wake up, I'd like to remember where I was for myself, as well as to be of service to the people, right? Because what you're actually doing is you're putting a program into your holographic, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, holographic computer, this human being that we are. And we're awesome. We're awesome.
We are awesome. You're
very
awesome.
Important. Very, very important. So 2021 is a lot of it's all about change, because 5 is change. You have changes, and the 20 is hidden knowledge. So our oracle is bubbling, is brewing. We're being asked to start sharing ourselves. if you're metaphysical, if you're spiritual, if you design, shoot, whatever you're doing, we're being asked to share our abundance and our grace and who we are on all levels. And the 21 is always, and it's a 3, but it's a higher 3. It's communicating with spirit, understanding that communication, how to take that vibration and bring it and manifest it and make it real. In tarot, it's the world card. So it's the androgynous dancer of the universe. The 21 is understanding androgyny, the male and female coming together in this beautiful dance. The angels are androgynous. Everything has androgyny to it. So it's you understanding the male and female within yourself so you can deal with whatever it is and whomever you connecting with in this level of balance. So it's hidden knowledge, awakening that oracle that you are with being the dancer of the universe in bringing in change and realizing you're the change, you're the reset, you're the one to do whatever it needs to do, and nobody can take that away from you. No one can take away your creativity. No one can take away your mind. No one can take away your body unless you allow them. Unless you allow them. And if you allow them, then you got to know really how to get it back. Or, as I say, you're creating your atmosphere when you wake up. And what is it that you do to strengthen yourself after your journey? As this woman saw the spirits, going out of houses. You've been somewhere and now you're back. So now, what are you doing to create a safe place for yourself? You'll love this, Peter, if you haven't heard this. In Hawaii, and I go back and forth years ago, and I met these kahunas who are like the high priest and priestesses of this beautiful space and place and called Hawaii. And they have a very simple philosophy. When they wake up in the morning, they open the eyes, they say thank you. They put their feet on the ground and they say thank you. They go and wash up, clean themselves up, and they say thank you. They're eating breakfast, they're at their table, and they say thank you. And in their philosophy, their thank you is their light, is their illumination, is their grace. Because whomever, whatever, and whatever happens to them, it's part of their thank you. It's part of the grace. It's part of them creating this thank you, this grace, this love with themselves, their thank you, and that with God.
Yeah, I love that. I lived in Hawaii for 10 years, but that's beautiful.
So it's very simple and it's very easy and it doesn't cost us any money. It doesn't cost us any money for us to create in the very beginning of our day a certain atmosphere of safety, of strength, of the thank you, of praise, of the awareness, and realizing after my meditation and prayers, and I do something called the Tesla exercise, because Tesla came to me in 1991, and he gave me this interesting meditation. And after I do all of those, and that's on YouTube, after I do all of that, I open my eyes and I say, let's go and create miracles.
I love that.
And that's it. And it's simple. And then I do the same thing. During the day, I'll say thank you. You know, all of a sudden, the subway comes at a certain time because I'm going, wow, you know what? I feel the subway coming, or this happening, or this. And when it happens, I go, wow, thank you. Let's have more of this.
Yeah, 0 point.
Exactly. Let's have more of this, you know? Let's have more fun. I love this synchronicity and serendipity. I love this energy. So 2021 is all about us in our state of change, but we're the change. We're being asked to also be that of the shaman, because the 5 is the 5 elements of earth, air, water, fire, and ether. The 5 is the senses of your hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and seeing. The 5 is also that of the body, of the painting of Da Vinci, of man. Yes. And the 5 is also not only the shaman, it's also the Hierophant in tarot. The Hierophant, which is the magician more mature, sitting in a throne like a chair, and they're communing with the elements, with their selves. They're strong, they're powerful, and they have a staff. And the staff is the Kundalini energy. It's your sensuality, it's your sexuality. It's the essence of who you really are. Understanding how to run that energy, what the Kundalini energy is, that staff that Jesus walked around with, the staff that Moses walked around with, and other avatars. So we're here to awaken that. Even the pentagram is a 5-pointed star. The 5-pointed star that was used by the mystery schools, giving you a 5-pointed star because you were a student or initiate of the school. Because when you were outside of the school, you couldn't talk about it. You couldn't talk about it, but if you saw someone with the pentagram, you would just nod, realizing that there's a brother, there's a sister, there's someone of the same family as you are, who is part of those teachings. And those teachings could have been that of Isis, the schools of Isis, that Mary Magdalene was a part of. And Mary Magdalene turned on Mary, mother of Jesus, onto that, as well as Jesus. And then you had also the Pythagorean schools, and you had the schools of Egypt, and you had the schools of China, and you had the schools of Africa.
All the schools.
Julian, thank you so much. Your presentation was amazing. Thank you so kindly for your presentation. I know Holly Be Healthy is joining us. So if anyone wants to continue with Julian, I think he is in room 98.
I'm in 98, or I'm in your room.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you so much. Blessings.
All right, blessings. Thank you.
It's a round of applause, Julian.
Yay.